New York Jets are here to stay. What's good? What's going on, New York Jets fans? How you doing? You okay? This was a toughie this week. Wow. All right. I'm going to tell you, honestly, I don't know how to feel. Clearly I'm happy with the end result as far as the W or the L. Right? We're happy. But damn, that's about all you can take out of it. You know what I mean? What else can you take out of this one? So I don't know. It's going to be an interesting. Week. What will we do? We have plenty to discuss, guys. It's Green Bean. Welcome to episode 137 of Green Bean's Jets Pod and the New York Jets. Guys, we are 4-3. We are in the middle of a 3-game win streak. We don't get these very often. We got one last year, remember? And right about now, we had Elijah Moore asking for a trade. Right in the middle of this. So we don't have that, at least not yet. Who knows what'll happen? Maybe Dalvin Cook or Carl Loss or somebody will come out this week and want to trade. Who knows? Both of them might get traded. But we don't get 3-game win streaks very often. We have one right now. And on top of that, we beat the Eagles last week the last game, which was 2 weeks ago, for the first time ever. And this time, we just beat the Giants, which has its own sweetness, right? Even if it's a shitty game, it has its own sweetness. But the big deal is that we won coming out of the bye. So it was an ugly one. It was about as ugly of a game as you can put together, because let me just share something right off the rip with you. The Giants had 0 passing yards. And we almost lost. All right, that's when we're talking ugly. We mean ugly. The Giants had no passing yards. None. Not only did they have none, they had -9 passing yards. Now, they had 203 rushing yards. And that is what it is, right? I mean, I think a lot of that came, there's penalties, right, which extend drives. But hey, that was where their offense was. It was on the ground today. They had 200 rushing yards, 203, -9 passing yards. So a big whopping total of 194 yards of offense. And we still almost lost. So we didn't have much more offense than that. We had 251 total yards of offense. So we'll get into all that. Who's to blame? Who do I direct my ire toward? That's what we really want to know, right? We got all sorts of characters. Salah, Hackett, Zach. Who? Who do you want to direct it toward? Michael Clemens, cut him. All right, we could do that. But I think it's a lot. There's a lot to go around. I think it's a more all-encompassing scope that we need to consider here, right? So it's episode 137. We haven't done this in a little while, but since it's episode 137, let's talk real quick about player 37, right? So we'll do our player profile this week. On Bryce Hall, it sucked. I wish last week was 37, right? Wouldn't that have been nice? Because he did such good things the last 2 games. Mr. Bryce Hall, UVA's own. UVA being right down the street. When I'm at work every day, I'm literally 5 minutes from UVA every day. So I root for Bryce Hall even a little bit more than just being a Jets fan. It's definitely a Jets fan, but I'll tell you, a little bit more. Zach Wilson just came on my screen here. Look at him. He's all excited like he won the game. Ooh, 1 second left. So Bryce Hall, starting cornerback for the New York Jets, 5th-round pick, was injured his last year in college at one University of Virginia. And he, the Jets are being labeled Visa's best comeback of the week. That's what I'm seeing right here. The Jets have the best comeback of the week. Look at that. Would you look at that? Look how happy Zachy Poo is. I'll tell you. He's amazing. What an amazing situation we have. So Bryce Hall, he comes in 2021. He comes in 2020. He misses the whole first chunk of the season under Gase. Comes back in, gets himself an interception, late in the season. But he's the starter in 2021 alongside Brandon Echols with Michael Carter II in the slot. 3 young bucks. Bryce Hall does okay. He doesn't get any picks or anything like that, but he defends, I think, like 19 passes or something. So he had a decent year, but they went out and they signed DJ Reed, and then they drafted Sauce Gardner with the 4th overall pick. And Bryce Hall was relegated to backup duty and was inactive. He was on the active roster, but on the 53, but he was inactive pretty much every game. This year, same thing. A lot of Jets fans thought he would be cut, and he wasn't. And he's on our team. And then what happens? And this is the reason I want to talk about him this week, is so we can lead it and bleed into some other areas that I find important. Okay? You with me? All right, good. We lose DJ Reed to concussion this year. And then we lose Brandon Echols. He's injured. He's our 3rd outside cornerback. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Sauce Gardner ends up being in the concussion protocol. So we missed 3 cornerbacks. And who has to step in? Bryce Hall, alongside of Michael Carter II, who is still as our nickel. And Craig James comes in. And Willie Mays Hayes running around out there. But Bryce Hall steps up. And he gets a huge play in the Denver game. Scoops up the fumble from the strip sack by Quincy Williams on Russell Wilson. And wins the game. And then in last week's game, the game against the Eagles, he has a pick and just does great. He just a fantastic job covering Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown at times. Just did a great job. And this is the point. I was a big fan of keeping Bryce Hall. Now, why? Why? Because I like him. I'm a little bit of a fan, right? There's that. But because I'm a believer in depth. Now, here's what I've been saying for years. I'm not alone. I'm not a sage. I just been hanging out here a long-ass time. I'm a believer that the New York Jets organization has to factor in the Jets curse and the bad luck that we have that trumps every other team's bad luck. I don't give a damn if you're the Lions, the Browns, doesn't matter. The Cardinals. We have a specific brand of bad luck. It's something that nobody else has. We lose all 3 cornerbacks in 1 week. That's what we do. We get an injury, a season-ending injury to a player every single time that we win this year. And it happened again this week. We lost Al Woods for this season. We don't know about Connor McGovern as I'm recording this. We don't know how long Tippmann's going to be out. We don't know about Schweitzer. But we lost Al Woods for the season. 3 Achilles in 1 year. That's what you can't just go, we're good, and send good players away. But we did anyway. And this is the dovetail, right? The mesh, the correlation. We have receivers, and it's the trade deadline. We want to do something. So we send Mecole Hardman to the Chiefs for a big batch of nothing. We call it a nothing burger. We moved up in the 7th to the 6th. Skiddly-doo. Not even this year's draft. Next year's draft. So not this year. Not 2024's draft. 2025. So we don't even get anything from Mecole Hardman until 2025, and it's a big fat 6th. Skiddly-ding-dang. Whoop-de-doo. Right? Mecole Hardman's over there scoring touchdowns for the Chiefs. Fine. Good for him. We didn't like him. But what happens? We know about Corey Davis, so that's already done. So we lost him. But we already lost him. So we have Reggie Cobb. I do it every time. Randall Cobb. Sorry. Randall Cobb is hurt. Gibson goes down. And what are we left with? We got DJ Reed, who was just coming out of the concussion protocol, fielding punts. You see what I'm saying? And that's why depth is key. So now we have this other guy. So we're happy we kept Bryce Hall because look at how beneficial it was to have a player of his stature, albeit not Sauce or Reed. Fine. but he's still a damn good ball player. It's good to have him on deck. We could have really used Mecole Hardman in the Giants game. Now we got Carl Lawson. He was inactive against the Giants. But now we're talking about trading him. We lose Al Woods. Now he's not an interior lineman, so there's that, but it should give you a little bit of pause. Bryce Hall's success, Mecole Hardman's success out there in Kansas City, and then looking at our wide receiver should give you some pause with getting rid of Carl Lawson. I mean, is somebody offering you a third? Okay. But are you moving up from the fifth to from the sixth to the fifth or the seventh? It's like it's for the sake of doing it. It doesn't help. A little. I venture to suggest Mecole Hardman being on the Jets would have helped more this week than the seventh turning into a sixth in 2025. Do I have a point? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Talk to me. Talk to me. That's my point. So when we're talking about Dalvin Cook, Carl Lawson, I'm a fan, unless they're going to give me a potentially starting caliber offensive lineman or even solid depth, like a number 2, something like that. Maybe a second-year player, something that's maybe not ready yet, somebody that we know we could use. Unless it's something like that, you're going to offer me something that's like, hey, I can't turn this down for a guy I'm barely using. Or, hey, man, I'm going to give you this guy, and you're going to give me something I need. Then that's a different story. Bryce Hall is a great example. So is Mecole Hardman, who, by the way, just did an end around I saw a few minutes ago. I didn't mean he didn't touchdown or anything, but he got like 10 yards. Hardman's a stud. We know this. Why we got to get rid of him? So that's my whole point. We could use these guys because the Jets, we have to factor in that we have bad luck. It's real, man. Can we just stop? We all thought Aaron Rodgers was going to come in and squash the Jets' curse. And what happened? The Jets' curse said, hold my beer. Watch this, Jets fans. 4 plays, 0 completions, Achilles. Now, look, we got lots to talk about with that friggin' turf. There were 5 players knocked out today. Now, I don't know if Tyrod Taylor had anything to do with the turf or what. I don't know. But, dude, this is pretty consistent stuff. Guys are getting injured on that field. So I don't know. I don't love it. Garrett Wilson says it's garbage. Guys getting injured. We got 2 Achilles now on that field. Something's up. Okay? Something's up, and we can talk about that. But my point is, Bryce Hall is a fantastic example of why you keep depth, especially when they're not, breaking your bank. Bryce Hall's $3 million. Mecole Hardman was $4 million. Don't you love how we talk like that? $3 million. It's chump change. Chump change. What's the big deal? It's only $3 million a year. If you said, hey, Bean, we'd like to pay you $3 million a year to shovel shit in Guam. I'm like, yep. Shit shoveling in Guam, baby. How many years is my contract? 3 years, $3 million a year, I'm in. You know what I mean? Come on. So, but it's all relative, as we know. It's NFL salaries. But as far as the cap is concerned, $3-4 million is not that big of a deal. So you keep these guys. You already absorbed it. You do it. So I'm hesitant to get rid of Carl Lawson, to get rid of Dalvin Cook. One injury, God forbid, and all of a sudden we're like, oh my God. Now we're left with rookies and undrafted free agents and all that kind of stuff. So I recommend hesitation at minimum. That said, I'd be banging on doors looking for offensive linemen. And I'd be absolutely ravaging practice squads of guys that I liked in the draft that are just sitting there. People are stashing them. I'd be plucking them right now. That's what I'd be doing. I don't know who's out there. I haven't looked yet. But boy, oh boy, would I be if my name was Joe Douglas. I'll tell you that. So there he is, Bryce Hall, the savior from the depths of the depth chart. All right, there's our player profile. So, guys, we had a game. We had A bye week where we were feeling pretty good. We beat the 5-0 Eagles for the first time in our history. Zach Wilson ends up being the quarterback to do just that. Amazing. So we're all looking for Zach to take another step. We come into the game this week, and Zach Wilson. Now look, let's lay down the excuses first, okay? Because this is where we split. Jets fans are kind of divided a little bit, as is standard. Let's go with the excuses. It was torrentially raining. The ball was heavy and wet. It was slippery and slidey. Drop passes, right? You got the drop passes. Brees dropped one. Garrett dropped a big one. Lazard dropped at least one or two. So that was real, all right? The running game was ineffective because of the big one. We lost 2 more offensive linemen today. So here's how it goes. Connor McGovern gets hurt. And the guy we have filling in for AVT, because he's out for the year, Wes Schweitzer. Oh, no. The guy we have filling in for the guy who filled in for AVT, Wes Schweitzer, because he was filling in for Tippmann, who's now hurt. So we lost AVT. We lost Tippmann. And guess Tippmann really. Yeah, he was, though. Because AVT was moved out to guard or to tackle because it's Dwayne Brown. And we moved Becton over from right side to left side. You see, it's getting nuts. So Tippmann goes down. We got Wes Schweitzer in there. He's really not all that great, but he's okay. So Connor McGovern goes down. We got to move Wes Schweitzer over to center. And here in comes Xavier Newman, who we just elevated from the practice squad, who nobody knew who the hell this guy is. He comes in at guard. But then Schweitzer goes down, so we got to move Xavier Newman over to center. Guess what? He doesn't do. He doesn't play center. He's strictly a guard, everybody. So that's fun. And we saw how that played out because his first snap ever goes for a big fumble that we lose to the Giants. And then we got to stick Billy Turner in there at right guard. He's a tackle. I mean, it's crazy, right? And you got to give Newman credit. I think he played his bout better than you might have expected, honestly, overall. But it's another reason why Zach maybe doesn't look so good. So you got the rain, you got the heavy slippery ball, you got the offensive line, you got the drop passes, you got the ineffective running game, right? In my opinion, some questionable play calls. Let me just ask you guys this. As a collective, all of you, every single one of you, I want you to answer this question in the comments if you wouldn't mind. Why is it that no matter what offensive coordinator we have on 3rd and 1, they don't have running backs in the backfield? Where is the wisdom for that one? Please. Taking away even the option, the threat that we're going to hand it to this guy and he's going to run full speed into the line and try to get 3 feet, which is this much. 3 feet. 3 feet. It's hard. Why do we remove even the threat of that? Because if you're going to pass, let them all stack the box and crowd in there and think you're going to do the thing. You play action, you dump it to the tight end. Whatever the hell you want to do. If you want to pass, why remove the threat? LaFleur, 3 years, different guys, same stuff. I don't know why that is. So you got some of that too. Let's throw that into the mix to protect Zach. But no matter what the excuses are, everybody, guess what? Zach Wilson-led offenses, generally speaking, there are the anomalies. There are the games here and there. The Chiefs game this year is a good example. By and large, Zach scores 7 to 13 points a game. That's what he does. The defense has to hold the other team to 2 touchdowns or less, or on top of that, score points, safeties, pick sixes, fumble. You know what I mean? They got to score too in order for us to win. And Zach looked like hot garbage today for the most part. He looked lost. Now, and I'll use one example. And I'm going to show you a picture, okay? My problem with Zach is this. It's not that he's not progressing. He is. It's not that he's not talented. He is. It's not that his arm isn't crazy strong. It is. And it's not that he doesn't have the belief of the organization, because he does. But this quarterback has the worst situational awareness that I've seen maybe ever. 4th and 10, game on the line. And we've already seen it this year where he's taken sacks on 4th and 10, or you know what I mean? We've seen it. 4th and 10, he already took a sack in that drive where he had time. Maybe not optimal time, but he had time. It's 4th and 10. There's 1:45 left in the game. All you got to do is get into field goal range because they're only up by 3 to tie it. And you take a sack. I don't give a shit if nobody's open. You throw the ball and you give someone a chance to fight for it. You give someone. You have Garrett Wilson. You got 6'5" Lazard. You got big-ass 6'4" tight ends out there. You throw it and you give them a chance no matter what. But it just so happened, take a look at the pick. Right in front of Zach's face happens to be, yet again, an open guy. Now, maybe he doesn't get the first. Maybe not. I think he got a damn good shot. And it doesn't matter. You're taking a sack. Let the ball go, dude. Now, Zach was given another chance with 24 seconds left because the defense came out and stopped him again. Now, you got to wonder, Dable, who's acknowledging, I don't trust this quarterback as far as I can throw him, is running the ball. Now, he's literally thinking 3 points is enough against Zach Wilson. That's what he's thinking. So he's playing it safe. I don't need to go I don't need to do anything. I'm going to let them make the mistakes. Smart. Zach comes out with 24 seconds left. Gets us down into field goal range. Everybody says, why can't Zach just play like that to ball? Because they're in prevent. I don't know why teams go into prevent. I say it every year since I'm 10. I don't know why they do it. The defense was working fine. Just do the same thing that worked for 59 and a half minutes. You know what I mean? It worked all day. They go into prevent. Zach's get us in a field goal range with the 1 second thing, which we almost didn't get. Holy macaroni, right? Holy macaroni. We get it off with 1 second left. I want to die. This team, it's like the cardiac kids. So we do it. We get the field goal. We get into overtime. Defense stops them. Get Malik Taylor's pass interference, which again is why we say it all the time, guys, as fans. Take your shots because, number one, you got Garrett Wilson. You got guys that can fight for the ball. So there's a shot there. But number two, a lot of the time what happens? You get a pass interference and you move the ball anyway. There's two potential positive options there. And it worked. You did it. You took the shot at Malik Taylor. Terrible pass interference. And we get in the field goal range and you kick the field goal and we win. So there you go. Now, why don't we do that? Where's the so again, you can blame, there's blame to go around, but at the end of the day, Zach Wilson can't hit a lot of, his situational awareness is a problem, guys. I don't know. Now, all that said, I'm psyched. We overcame today. We overcame this week. We beat the crosstown rivals, a team that with their record aside, they're fighting. They got a nasty-ass defense. Thibodeau had 3 sacks. Now, 2 of them were complete coverage sacks because Zach's a moron, but still. So we overcame the bye. We overcame the crosstown rival thing, the little brother, that all thing. We overcame the rain and all the stuff, and we won. And that's really the most important thing. But we came out of this with our head knocked off. We lost 2 more offensive linemen. We lost Al Woods for the year. We haven't won a damn game without losing people for the year. We have 3 Achilles in one season. It's not, dude, it's week 8. We got 10 games left. You know, I mean, I feel bad. I mean, who else? Who's next? So I'm happy with the victory. I am. Well, let's look at these numbers here. Let's take a look. So I want to point out a few things. Number one, the time of possession. The defense is out there far too long. Now, the Michael Clemens thing kept him out there. The punt, I mean, gross, right? You got to know, buddy. The penalties that they always throw on third down for us. Look, the Quincy Williams late hit thing or the spearing was complete. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know what the NFL is anymore. I really don't. I think that was baloney. The Jermaine Johnson thing, I get it. But, you know, again, when you look at it in fast motion, it's a split second. He's just behind. They're tackling the quarter. Why can't he tackle? It was a clean tackle. So that stuff kept him out there. So there's that. But you got to look at it. The offense punted 11 times today. Now, thank goodness we have the best punter in the world. He didn't even need, I mean, Hardy's out or Charles is gone. We don't even need him. This guy's dropping punts inside the 5-yard line that are just boop. They're just staying right there at the 3. Boop, 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 boop. It just stays there. The one rolled out at the 3-yard line. Dude, the guy, I'm telling you, Morstead, if he's not an all-pro, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. Fucking, the guy's amazing. But nonetheless, we put him out there 11 times. We had 9 penalties for 85 yards. We lost 2 fumbles. This is an ugly game, people. Now, Zach didn't have any picks, but he did lose 2 fumbles. Gave the Giants their 3 points in the beginning day, so that's the whole thing, right? But the time of possession looked like this. The Giants had the ball for 38 minutes and 13 seconds. The Jets had it for 25. So they had the ball for 13 more minutes. That means the defense was out there for 13 extra minutes that they weren't out there last week. And you could see it. At the end of the game, they looked wiped. And the fact that they were able to do what they did is a testament to it. And I know it's the Giants. It doesn't matter. The defense saves us every week. They gave up a touchdown in the second half, so now we have 2 in 2 games in the second half. Or no, in all year in the second half. Forgive me. Rather, but 25 minutes of offense, and that's including overtime. So it's not good. That's not a good look. We can't keep doing that to the defense. So the Jets had 251 yards of total offense, 193 through the air, 58 yards. I thought this was going to be the Breece Hall attack. Couldn't get it going. Now, that's definitely because of the offensive line, but here's the problem. Remember the first 2 weeks of the season, Dwayne Brown and Laken Tomlinson were like the liabilities? Remember that? But we kept running left, remember? Becton and ABT are over here, we're not running right. We do it one time, it breaks for 30 yards. Now we got injuries on the right side. Where is the main focus of our run? The right side. I don't know what that is with Hackett. I don't understand why that is. Why would you run into, is it trying to fool them? They'll never think I'm going to run over here. That'd be stupid. I got it. I'm going to take him by surprise. Is that what he's doing? I just don't know. I just don't know. So 58 rushing yards, an average of 4 yards per play. That's what the Jets were doing, which interestingly enough is enough to win the game if you do it every play, but we didn't. So we got 12 total first downs. We were 2 for 15 on third downs. 2 for 15. Again, worst in the league. Fourth down, 0 for 1. We know what that was. We had 62 total plays. We let 4 sacks for Zach, So an ugly day overall. An ugly day, but we won. And the fact that the Jets figured out a way to win is the positive, guys. We're 4-3. We're 4-3. And we're heading into the Monday night game, which, by the way, I think we have 4 tickets left. If you want to join us for Monday night against the Chargers, home field, Monday night, under the lights, we'll have our wristbands. We're heading out. We're hanging out with Tailgate Joe. It's me, O'Leary, Ryan. We got Jets Chaos. We got Dom C. We got Finnegan. All kinds of fun guys are going to be hanging out with us at Tailgate Joe's Tailgate, world famous tailgate. He's in the Hall of Fame for tailgaters, the NFL Hall of Fame. He's the Jets representative in the NFL Hall of Fame for tailgate parties. We're hanging out there. We got on the field access before the game, and we're all sitting together, 50-yard line upper level. The tickets are at talkingjets.com. Talking Jets, not talking. Talking Jets, baby. You should hang out with us. If you're thinking about it, this is the game to come to. We're going to have a blast, and we're going to be 5-3 because this was the ugly game. But I got to tell you, here's what I say. Trevor Siemian should be the active backup, and he should be breathing down Zach's neck because this idea that he can do anything he wants and there's no threat, it's not good. Tim Boyle, they never even had his helmet on. So if that's Trevor Siemian, as soon as Zach has 2 or 3 bad drives, up and 3, down and 3, Siemian should be putting his helmet on, and Zach needs to see that. That's what he needs to see. It's motivating. Hey, we're all men here. Do your damn job. Yeah, but the ball's wet. I don't care. So we'll see how the season goes. Hey, you got to win these. It's significantly worse to lose these types of games. Ask Giants fans. They know. And I'm glad that we won it. So with that all said, guys, Joe Douglas has some work to do today. Joe Douglas has some work. We have another day and a half, 2 days until the trade deadline is up. What will he do? It is my thought that no matter what we do, it better be an offensive lineman that we bring in. And if we can't, then a wide receiver. If you want to do Carl Lawson for Renfro, go ahead. Do that. But something needs to happen. Unless you just keep your guys, go scour some practice squads, bring in more offensive linemen, put them, I don't care. Do something. But I think you should hold on to Carl Lawson unless you're getting something that you can use now. I think you should hold on to Dalvin Cook unless you're getting something that you can use now. Right now. A pick in 2025 at the end of the draft does us nothing. It's not worth doing. The money's already gone. Don't worry about it. And that's the intelligent gripe. All right, guys. Again, I'm happy that you're here. The Jets are 4-3. Let's not make a bigger thing out of it than it is. We won an ugly game in the rain. A home field or away game on our home field. It's weird. There's a lot of weird storylines and energies and stuff. We did it. We came out of it with the victory. Let's go into Monday night, the extra day, and let's get it right. I hope you have a great rest of your week, Jets fans. Let's enjoy it. Let's see what they do about Zach. Have a great week, everybody. And as always, go Jets.